In these uncertain economic times, it's easy to be worried about protecting your wealth, your hard-earned savings, and your family's financial future. Plunging interest rates, the devaluating dollar, and political unrest constantly threaten what you have worked hard to earn and all that you own. That's why now it's more important than ever to protect your assets and have the money you need to make your dreams come true. Welcome to the Global Wealth Fortress Report with successful global entrepreneur and wealth preservation expert Joel Nagel. Joel's helped thousands of people just like you protect what you have so that you can make even more and make your every dream come true. So, sit back and enjoy Joel Nagel's offshore expert advice on how you can live the good life at a great price, where the sun never sets on your financial fortress.
Hello. This is Carib Carter Clues, and welcome to Joel Nagel's Global Wealth Fortress Report. All right, grab your coffee because we're going to have a good time together. Today, I know it's going to be a different kind of good time because Joel's not here. Okay? I'm sure you've noticed that every time we talk with Joe, every edition on every Thursday, offshoreclub.com at noon, that we talk with Joel, he's somewhere else in the world. Very rarely is he up at his home outside of Pittsburgh. You know, he's in Vienna, he's in Switzerland, he's in the Azores. It's incredible. And it's always on business with very, very wealthy and influential and very smart people, okay? Because Joel, as you know, is America's #1 asset protection attorney. Okay, remember I always hold this up. I hold this up. Okay. To me, this gives us a little advantage today while Joel's away, because it gives me a chance to help you understand really exactly how valuable these podcasts are. I'm not going to take long. We're only going to hold it to maybe about 10 minutes or so today, okay? But I want you to bear with it just being me instead of Joel, because I know you enjoyed Joel, you learn from him, and he'll be back next week. But today, I just want to talk to you directly about Joel Nagel, okay? In a way, it's kind of a labor of love, but more than that, it's an opportunity for rightful admiration, because when you realize that the extent of what Joel brings to the table every Thursday, I think you're going to enjoy the podcast with him even more, the Global Wealth Fortress Report. Folks, Joel Nagel, he to me is kind of like the Babe Ruth of or the Michael Jordan of his industry, okay? Tim Grover, who wrote a great book called Relentless, and he was Michael Jordan's fitness and motivational trainer, mostly fitness. He's a very serious guy, Tim is. He said, Mike goes beyond being legendary. He said, whenever anybody says he's legendary, I say, no, there are a lot of legends. Mike is iconic, okay? Joel Nagel in the field of asset protection, folks, worldwide, that's why we always talk to him in different places every time, is iconic. He charges a pretty good sum to his very wealthy clients who are more than happy to pay him for his advice. You know how good it is, because, if you're a regular viewer, you probably take notes every week. And here's the point that I want to get across to you, because it blows me away. He gives us every Thursday on Global Wealth Fortress Report the same advice free of charge. I mean, that almost goes beyond generous. That is munificent, okay? Because the advice is so solid. Let me give you just a little bit, and I want to, I can say it, but I'd rather show you, okay? And that's why I took some notes on his bio, just to show you the kind of guy that we're getting to sit with. We're getting to sit with in our community every Thursday, why it's so vitally important to you. Then I'm going to finish up with telling you even a deeper reason, why it's so important. Okay, let me just read some of this blowaway stuff from his CV here. Joel's law firm, Nagel Associates, is the first law boutique firm based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, pretty big city, folks, dealing exclusively with international commercial transactions. Okay, international asset protection. That's what he talks to us about every week, isn't it? Isn't that what he? Yeah, good. Foreign residency, second citizenship services. He's the expert. That's what Nagel law is all about. Okay, that's what Nagel law is all about. He helps you with joint ventures, trusts, foundations, corporations, LLC. Again, foreign residency and citizenship matters. Okay. Now, let me give you an idea, okay, of the extent of his background. I went to Frostburg State University. Okay, Frostburg State University. All you had to do was show up for 4 years and you got your degree. All right, that's it. All right. Fortunately, I was a teak, tall cap epsilon, so it was an enjoyable 4 years for me. But that was it. Frostburg State, right? You notice I don't wear around a Frostburg hat of banners, all that. And I'm not saying it's an awful school, but it ain't the top tier, okay? Joel was a Fulbright Scholar. A Fulbright Scholar. Folks, that's the creme of the cream, okay? That's the top echelon of intellect, a Fulbright Scholar. He went to the, I can't even pronounce it, Rheinisch Friedrich Wilhelms University in Bonn, Germany. I can't even pronounce it, let alone go to someplace like that. The Hague Academy of International Law. You're sitting there saying, what the heck? Yeah, Georgetown University Law School, one of the top in the country. He's the guy giving you asset protection advice and incredible economic analysis every week on Joel Nagel's Global Wealth Fortress Report. Yeah, if you're going to have a fortress, this is the guy you want building it, isn't it? West Virginia University. He's a mountaineer. I love West Virginia. I have a home there. And Allegheny College, where he was a roommate, by the way, of Mike Cobb, the Offshore Investment Oracle, who we do a show with every Friday that I know many of you watch. Okay, he tells you where to invest money offshore. You can't get smarter than him. Together with Joel, they've made the best investments in the Caribbean. They pioneered offshore development throughout Central and South America. They're like the Lewis and Clark of that. Okay, so that's where they met, Allegheny College. I think they had a radio show together. Okay, so this is incredible stuff. He's the chairman of Key International Bank in Belize. Okay, let me read this real quick. This is incredible to me. He's been quoted in U.S. News and World Report, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Pittsburgh Tribune Review, International Living, Live and Invest Off Seas, Assignment Letter, the Oxford Club, Hemispheres, obviously on the Global Wealth Fortress Report because it's his podcast, all right? So this guy is the top of the top, okay? He's on the board of 15 different companies. He's in some official ambassadorial role with Belize, okay? That's how highly they respect him. It's incredible, okay? I have a home in Honduras. They haven't asked me to be any kind of unofficial or official ambassador, so that's pretty good. That's pretty darn good, isn't it? And but he doesn't stop there. And this is what I want to get to. Okay, you know the credentials now. He is the Offshore Assets Oracle. Okay, so when he tells you, and folks, I got to be honest with you. When I get the joy, the privilege of interviewing him every Thursday, like we usually do on this show, I'm blown away because his economic analysis is the best I've ever heard. And let me put that in perspective. When I was director of communications at the United States Senate, I worked hand in hand with the members of the Senate Finance Committee. Okay. The members and the chairman, everybody else. One of my best friends is the former chief economic officer for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. All these people were smart, but I've never heard analysis like we get, economic analysis like we get from Joel every week. And I have a feeling you haven't either. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, I think so. I think so. And when you read that background, you start to understand why. Okay, the man is incredibly educated. He travels the world now, educating himself more and helping others who are major, the wealthy elite. They're the wealthy elite in this country and abroad, helping them understand how to protect their assets. Pretty important in times like we're living in now, isn't it? It's pretty important, isn't it? Okay. So there you, the bona fides, as we say, the bona fides are remarkable. And it's one of the reasons for the past year, I have loved getting to interview Joel every Thursday on this show. Okay. Okay. But let me tell you the other reason. In a way, it goes deeper. I've told you about Joel, the master. Okay. And he is the master of asset protection, the Offshore Asset Oracle. But how about Joel, the man? Okay. In some ways, for me, that's been even more impressive, because the better I get to know him, the more I realize how he fulfills the old saying, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And over, I've been impressed with how much Joel Nagel cares about the people he serves. Not only the wealthy elite, but you. How many times, if you're a regular viewer, have you heard him lament the plight of the middle class, the working people, okay, the middle income people, and say that's what worries him most? Remember a week or so ago when he was analyzing this horror of the 87,000 armed IRS agents that are about to be sicked on the American people. And he said, it upsets me, he said, because I know they're going to be auditing everybody. Don't believe this business about only to audit the wealthy. You need 87,000 armed agents for that? No. He said, I'm worried. He said, those who are wealthy. And he said, and I do all right. He said, I've been audited 5 times. They never got an extra penny from me. He said, but I can afford to have the best advice in terms of taxes. He said, but the people in the middle income and the lower income are just going to have to surrender and hand over more money. Joel was genuinely concerned about that. And that's what I've seen in the man. That's why you know how much he cares, okay? Why is that? Joel came from, the lower income, okay? His father died when he was a kid. I think if I remember correctly, I'm not sure, but I think he was 10. So him and his brothers and sisters raised by their mother. He worked from the time he was a small kid, to help pay the way. All right. I like that in a person. That's why when he talks to you, it's coming from the heart to the heart. Very, very important. Very, very important. His charity work in these Central American countries is absolutely incredible. All right. He's committed to it. He's founded charities in Belize, Nicaragua, other countries over there. And that's the point I really want to make with you. I live in a blue collar neighborhood, okay, working class neighborhood, because they're the people that I identify with, all right? Because I was raised in Baltimore City back when it was a blue collar town. My dad was a Methodist minister back when they didn't make a lot of money, okay? Well, Joel came from a similar background, okay? So in his head, he may be a Fulbright Scholar, but in his heart, he's one of us. That's why his advice is so valuable to you. That's why you can rely on it so much. That's why I urge you, tell your friends who now more than ever need asset protection and good economic analysis, financial, to tune in with you every Thursday at noon at Offshore.club to get Joel's free $1 million advice. That's the only way I can put it. Free $1 million advice. Let me sum up. So you get the expert, but you also get the individual who cares. When I think of Joel, I think about, some of you may remember the movie Harvey, okay? Jimmy Stewart starred in it. He had an invisible rabbit friend, white rabbit friend, and it's a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's going to make you feel better as a person. I promise you that. But Harvey he's his wife, not Harvey, Jimmy Stewart's wife. He's Elwood P. Dowd. Okay, and he's different. He's different. So his sister, Myra, commits him to an insane asylum. Right, right. He has this friend he talks to, but Harvey's a one. But Elwood's a one. Elwood P. Dowd's a wonderful guy. And when he sits in, the psychiatrist starts to grill him. You know, Elwood P. Dowd says, Dr. Chumley, it's Jimmy Stewart. Dr. Chumley, when I was a boy, my mother used to say to me, Elwood, she always called me Elwood. Elwood, in this world, you must be oh so smart, or oh so kind. I recommend kind, and you may quote me on that. Okay. With Joel Nagel, Global Wealth Fortress Report, you get both, the smart and the kind. So make sure to tune in, as I tell you, every week. You know, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. It really is. So let's do this thing.